Here is what's usually happen after a course. You understand the concepts, you like ideas, and then nothing changes. This lecture exists to prevent that exact failure. You're no longer running retrospectives, discussions that produce ideas. You're now running an improvement system, a mechanism that reliably converts problems into completed change. This is your shift from facilitator to change agent. Let me make that concrete. Before this course, a retrospective probably ended with a list, a hope that something changes. After this course, it ends with ownership, a visible action in the sprint and clear expectation that it will be completed. That's the difference. And your next retrospective is where you make that shift real. Here is exactly how. You need 4 things ready before you walk into the retrospective. First, share the Locus of Control canvas template, make it visible to the entire team. Whiteboard, Miro board, PowerPoint slide, whatever your team uses. Don't try to run this exercise from memory. Second, review the facilitation script from lecture 5, the exact language for handling disagreements about quadrant placement. You want that fresh. Third, allocate 20 minutes in your retrospective agenda for the categorization exercise. Not at the end, not if we have time, block it explicitly. This replaces whatever you normally do for identifying improvements. Number 4 is prepare your 2-minute framework introduction. Here is the language I recommend. We are trying something different today. We are going to categorize improvements by what we can actually control versus what requires organizational support. This helps us focus our energy on changes we can complete this sprint instead of discussing things that need discussion above our level. That's it. Simple setup. No overselling. The first time you run this, it won't be perfect, and that's expected, not a problem. What matters is that the system is in place. Precision comes after consistency. And consistency comes after that first imperfect attempt. Now, let's talk about what success looks like in the next 2 weeks. Week 1. Run the 4-quadrant analysis in your retrospective. You will categorize problems, you will commit to 1 or 2 quadrant 1 improvements, and you will probably have some messy moments. That's normal. Then, in sprint planning, create a sprint integrated action item for those 1 or 2 quadrant 1 improvements. Use the sprint integrated action tracker. Get explicit capacity agreement. Get ownership assigned. From that point forward, include the improvement action status in your daily stand-ups, not as a separate agenda item, just as a part of the normal flow when the owner reports what they are working on. Week 2. Complete at least 1 improvement action. Move it through the 5-stage workflow. Get impact verified. Log your first improvement impact log entry with the measurable result. Problem identified, action taken, measurable result. Even if it's simple, even if it's directional data instead of perfect metrics. And here is what you should notice by the end of week 2. A visible change in team trust toward retrospective. Not massive transformation, but people start showing up differently when they see that actions that get completed instead of discussed. That's your baseline. And from now on, every sprint improves from there. 1 completed improvement, 1 logged impact, visible engagement shift. If you apply only what's in this course consistently and without shortcuts, you should expect 3 outcomes. First, at least 1 completed improvement action per sprint, not planned, not discussed, completed. Second, within 2 sprints, fewer repeated issues surfacing in retrospectives, because you are either fixing what the team controls or properly escalating what they don't. Either way, the complaint loop breaks. Third, visible change in team engagement during retrospectives. People show up expecting outcomes, not therapy. That's not just magic. That's what happens when you stop collecting ideas and start running the system. You're walking away with 5 done-for-you templates: Locus of Control, Analysis Canvas, Visual 4-quadrant framework with a complete facilitation script, Sprint Integrated Action Tracker, template with 3 sprints of example that shows exactly how items progress through the workflow, action item definition of done checklist, stakeholder-ready documentation template with the 6 example entries, escalation protocol template for handling quadrant 3 organizational impediments properly. Everything you need is already built. You are not starting from scratch. You are implementing tested system. Your next retrospective is the first one you will run as a change agent.